Hello folks, my name is Blake Bertuccelli-Booth and I'm going to give a few updates about Equalify. Before I begin, I just wanted to let you know everything I show on the screen I'll talk about, so if you're not visual, don't worry. The first big update is that we're going to launch Equalify on October 8th, 2023. Again, we're going to launch Equalify on October 8th, 2023. Now, October 8th is the High Ed Web Conference. This is a conference that higher ed professionals from all over the world come together to meet. It's going to be in Buffalo, New York, and I'll be speaking about open source accessibility. The reason I say this is Equalify's launch is because we're taking Equalify out of the experimental state it was in and are going to make a production-ready version of Equalify. Again, on October 8th, we'll launch our production-ready version of Equalify. The second piece of news is related to the conference. We are going to focus on higher ed website accessibility professionals. Now, the reason why we're focusing on higher ed website accessibility professionals is because these people are the people who are controlling most of the website accessibility for very large site networks. My big mission with Equalify is to make Equalify as impactful as possible. I want to make sure that Equalify makes websites more accessible in a very, very big way. So working with higher ed website accessibility pros, we can do that. We can be very, very impactful. And I think the new version of Equalify will focus on what higher ed accessibility pros really need. We're focusing not just on automation, but on developing governance models that allows accessibility professionals to set their accessibility standards and maintain those standards. So October 8th, we're going to be launching the next version of Equalify, and this version will be focused on higher ed accessibility pros. The third piece of news is a pretty exciting piece of news for me. As you might see, I'm wearing a hat that says Decubing on it, and I have a mug next to me that says Decubing. I've joined my old website design agency, Decubing, to focus more on sustaining Equalify. So with Decubing, I'm going to spend about 80% of my time working on sustaining Equalify. Decubing is not going to necessarily own Equalify. Equalify still will be an open source project. That's not going away. In fact, the reason why I'm joining Decubing is to make sure Equalify can retain that open source ethos. If I went with another bigger company that I didn't have as much ownership with, there's a good chance that most of Equalify will have to become proprietary. But since I'm transitioning into Decubing, I can work on Equalify as an open source project. Decubing is also going to introduce some new accessibility services that help sustain Equalify. But from now on, Equalify will be open source. I'm really convicted to make Equalify as open as possible. I think that any open source accessibility platform has the greatest chance to succeed. So again, the three big pieces of news: we're going to launch Equalify on October 8th at the High Ed Web Conference. Equalify is going to be focused on accessibility pros. We're really focusing on not just automation, but other pieces that accessibility pros need. And the third big piece of news is that Decubing is going to be helping maintain Equalify. I'm going to be helping to build business structures that can support Equalify's open source systems with Decubing. Thank you all. That's just a quick update for now, but I'm here if you need anything. Blake@decubing.com. Feel free to email me or drop a link in the comments. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.